Hi, everyone. Welcome to second segment, episode 209 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we're going to talk about 5 home improvement trends that you want to watch for.
These are really interesting, too, because we are seeing a lot of these. The first one that we're going to talk about is Airbnb-friendly spaces. Now, you know, I called it this because everybody knows what Airbnb is right now, but It really is talking about many times more having availability for more than one family to live together.
I agree with that 100% because even when we market a house and it has a configuration that's like this, where it has a mother-in-law suite that has a separate entrance, we oftentimes, if it's in an area where Airbnb isn't quite friendly, we can market this as multi-generational and people absolutely love it. It gets so many more hits, I feel like.
You know, we've had several buyers in the last year that has been one of their priorities.
Yep.
Donna Miguel, for example, they have a lot of international visitors, and they're going to have international visitors that come and stay 3 or 4 weeks at a time. And so they wanted to have that additional space on the other side of the house for that, you know, where people still had their space, but you still were together.
And I think that you can also switch your mindset, and Airbnb doesn't have to be the entire house. You know, so many times we've seen AUDs, auxiliary dwelling units, that are small, almost like a she shed. Adam Sobolewski in West Dallas had one, and it was such a great element when we listed it that I think that day we had over 100 people. So if this is something that you're thinking about, like spending your money on, let us know. We'd love to visit with you and figure out what you're thinking. But these really do lean in and bring a lot of bang for the buck.
And we've done a lot of research on them, Adrian and I have, because, you know, he's still considering building one in his backyard that is strictly for his office space.
It's smart. It is smart.
Number 2 is composite decks. You know, the price of wood just was astronomical for a while.
Right.
This is kind of a side cut of what a piece of composite wood is. And this is a man-made product, but the cost of this has not risen as fast as wood. So the delta between the two has gotten a lot smaller.
And I think that the difference between maintenance in these two is night and day.
Absolutely.
If you're the kind of guy who likes to have a weekend project, then power on and do your wood. Because you're going to need a sand, you're going to need a stain, you're going to need a repair, you're going to need a level. If you're the kind of person like myself that does not want to do that because I've got enough hobbies, spend the money on the truck and make it happen.
Yeah.
One of the things to be conscious of is the darker the color, they get pretty warm. So think about that when you make your decision, because in Texas heat, if you're not shaded, they can get pretty warm if they're dark.
What's number 3?
Let's do lighting upgrades. Some people like lighting is their thing, and kudos to them, because I think whenever you go into a house and you've got this ambient light throughout, the soft, the warmth, it makes a home. And Edison bulbs are one of the quickest ways to add that element. It's really great now that they've worked to create those filaments that create more of an actual design element as well, rather than just being the simple loop. These are excellent with or without a shade. One of the things that I'm always drawn to is being able to lower the temp on these.
And LED lighting, especially under countertops, is another really big trend that we're seeing. There are many of these that are now battery operated. And so even if you don't have the electricity and you don't want to spend for an electrician, that you can still provide this.
You know where is one of the key places that I've seen that I love them? You do it in your house. You do it behind your TV, and it syncs with your TV. I think that's amazing. Last but not least, I also love them under the cabinets in the master bathroom. Being able to have that soft glow in the middle of the night, I love it. I think it's such a nice touch.
And another trend that we're seeing a lot of are these freestanding soaker tubs. You know, many of the older homes that are being renovated, the old short tubs are being pulled out, and these tubs that are more of a sculpture design, they're more of have a design aesthetic to them, as opposed to that old shove-in 5-foot tub that's tiled to.
They fit different spaces now, which is so great, because in this next slide you're going to see this is a completely different size, a completely different shape, and this is a take off of a Japanese soaking tub. And a lot of times it can also be done in wood. These are deeper, and so it's almost like you're sitting in these. They're amazing. That house that we had over there in Deep Elm that we had listed, they had one of these the very first time I'd ever seen one, and I had to get in it, not to be a dork, not to do some social media post, but I wanted to see how it felt. And I thought, what an interesting way to have hot water, like past your shoulders. If you get the chance, look into these things. You will not be disappointed. The amount of space they need is limited. I would put this on the do list. Definitely.
And the last trend that we're going to talk about that we're seeing so much more of now is smart home technology. And you can automate your home in so many different ways, but you can also just do little things to make it easier to live in. These plugs are amazing because you can do a 2 amp charge on regular USB, or you can do the fast charge on the USB-C.
Yes, and these are a must. I think that if you are putting these near your nightstand, this is where they have to go. If you're going to put one in your living room, put it near your office space or where more people are going to use these. And this is my favorite. I had one of these in my old island where it would pop up and it would give me both plugins and USB. But what I didn't know that Jeff pointed out is this one is one that actually allows you to set your phone on top of it and charge that way.
Really, really pretty cool. Great design. And these are just some of the ways you can automate your home through your environmental control, video, audio, shades, cameras, lighting, leak detection, irrigation, everything.
Just don't forget to pay your internet bill.
Your internet bill, exactly. So I hope y'all have found this helpful today. If there are any other trends you're seeing out there that you'd like us to talk about, if you're seeing any trends, just throw them in the comments. We'd be happy to hear about that.
And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.